Many of you have Christian pedigree. You know all about the cross and how it works, the finished work of Christ and the promise of the Holy Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit and the powers and the gifts of the Spirit, the wisdom of the Holy Spirit to enable you to be able to overcome your sin. But not many of you realize when we speak of the things of, say, the Bible, Christianity, that we're not under law, we're under grace. And when you ask people, most people, how are you going with God, which I used to as an evangelist, the majority of them will say, well, I keep the commandments. 99.9% of people that know the Bible or don't know the Bible, hey, think that they have to keep the commandments. But the commandments were put there to show us that we can't keep them, so that we could recognize there's a nature inside us that does not want us and will not allow us to do good, total good. We cannot do it. We think we can, but we can't. This way, please. Come on. Hey. Come on, mate. Hey. Many of you have gone through breakups where it's been vicious, unexpected. You've been betrayed by your partner, possibly by your best friend. Usually it's with someone we know. Usually it's through other family members. These people are whingers, whiners, backbiters, tattletales. They make up stories to justify what their sinful nature's encouraging them to believe. All this stuff. You're on the end of it now and you're not sure why it's wound up the way it has. You didn't have the depth and insight and capability to understand that narcissism and the sin within the sinful nature will degenerate the love that these people have for the people that are closest to them. Okay, up. And of course, now it's your turn to suffer the wrath of this kind of behavior. You're broken. You're heartbroken. You can't make sense of any of it. You have been crippled emotionally, mentally, worn out. Your nervous system's running at 100 miles an hour. It feels like your hair's on fire. You feel like a broken tooth or a foot out of joint in your mental health. Hey, excuse me, this dog's gone back to the carcass. Get out of it! Come here, come here. Sit, sit, now. Sit, sit. I said sit. No, I said sit. Come here. Sit, Hank. Right, look at the rebellion. Sit. Sit, now. Sit. Sit. No, no. You'll sit. 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 Sit, Hank. I'm not here to give you a lesson on stupid dogs, but this dog. Sit, please. Sit. Sit, Hank. Sit. I said sit. just an idiot. An absolute stupid idiot. It knows, but it won't do it. That's how the carnal nature works. Your brokenness, you feel like you've been stepped off a curb and run over by a car, but you haven't. You've been put in a situation of letdown, torment, aggravation, antagonism, sarcasm. You've possibly been with somebody that is on drugs or something, and you know indirectly tried to mirror that person, but it hasn't worked for you because you're not up to the lifestyle that they live. And of course, of the trauma bond that you have with this disintegrated relationship, you can't break out of your mind racing, your thoughts working to try and figure out how this happened and what it happened. That's exactly what the carnal nature wants, what the sinful nature wants. It wants to lead you to destruction, and some people do destroy themselves. They do harm themselves and maim themselves. Let's go, please. Come on, mate. Hank. Very dangerous, rebellious little dog, this dog. And this rebellious nature is in all of us, and you found yourself on the end of somebody's that you thought was going to work in alignment with you, and now they're not. You're heartbroken. You've worn everybody else out, complaining about what's happened to you. They don't have answers. Many of these people don't have answers for themselves. They're just hanging on to the little bit of good life they've got. A lot of these people will, in many ways, give you the wrong solutions. And the best thing for you to do with somebody or to somebody that has let you down or continued to let you down and not resolve things that needed to be resolved is to cut them off. Cut off the problem at the root. Cut it off at the root. The axe has to be laid at the root of the tree, the Bible says. You judge a tree by its fruit. If the fruit's no good, cut it off. Cut it completely off. Get rid of it. And recover and restore. And the place to do that is at the cross, where Jesus brings healing and happiness and health and recovery. He doesn't necessarily change what life will try and do to you, but he will empower you with his spirit, which will enable you to be able to overcome the things that life brings to you that works against you to bring you harm. Come to this place where Jesus introduces you to new life, to a resurrected life, a life where these things that are harming you are buried, and you come into a new life, aware and awoke, so it never happens to you again.